Many people have been asking me about the Floyd Mayweather fight versus Conor McGregor. Probably because of my years of experience in the martial arts, they want to know my perspective. Now, before I get to that, let me ask you a question. And I want you to come on a journey with me. And I need you to use your imagination. The same way you use it for other things, I really need you to capitalize on this by really putting yourself in the picture that I'm going to paint. I want you to imagine having all of the money that Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather are going to make. And you know they're going to make over $100 million in just this one fight. Now on top of that, go ahead and add all of the money that Floyd has also made over the years and Conor has made. Put all that together. And now put yourself on a luxurious, huge, enormous, the biggest yacht. Make it as big as you want. And put yourself on a huge, beautiful, luxurious plane. Either one. Whatever you feel more comfortable with. Whatever you like. With all the amenities. Now I need you to envision waking up on your plane, super duper plane, and or luxurious yacht with all the amenities and all the cash, baby. You got it. You made it. You woke up with it. But you're lost. You're lost in the air or you're lost in the sea. And remember that you can kick it, as they say, have a good time, enjoy with all the amenities. You got all the luxuries. Or you can really think about, how in the world did I end up in this place where I'm at? And do you think, how much does this money actually mean to you? How much would it be worth to you? Think about that for a moment. Really ponder and think, what would this be worth to me? And then I want you to equate it. What is it, that space that you occupy on that yacht, compared to the vast ocean or the sea? Or how about the plane that you're flying in? What does that occupy next to the air, to the left, to the right, up or below? Get that huge, vast picture in your mind. So does a person continue to be entertained by all the amenities and all the luxuries on that ship, that boat, that yacht, or that plane? Or does a serious person start to really reflect and think, how did I end up here? I better hurry up and figure out how am I going to land this thing, because eventually it's going to end. It's going to fall out of the sky, or it's going to be overtaken by the sea and it's going to sink. Now that's no different. If you really think about this, and it gets deep, it's no different than this small space that we occupy on this earth, in the whole galaxy, and the earth that is spinning in it. And many of us, we've been numb to the fact that we are here for a short amount of time, and it's one spectacle to the next. So people are living from one boxing match to the next MMA event, to the next golf, to the next Super Bowl, to the next weekend, and the list goes on. Now, would you do that on the plane, knowing that it can fall from the sky, it can sink in the ocean at any time? What's all that money that you got? All their money, Floyd's and Conor's, on the plane. You've hit it big now, but it can all end at any time. Wouldn't you take the matter more serious? That's my question to you. Shouldn't we ponder and think deeper than the material things and that money that they'll make, wishing that you had it? And in the same way, many people are blasting their boom boxes in their fancy cars, or in their beater cars, fantasizing having the fancy cars, fantasizing having the girls fantasizing having the boys, and the clothes and the fashion and everything else, the material things, the things that are going to perish, the things that are temporary. So that's my perspective from one end, that when we see that we really ponder and think, Now some people might say, well, I mean, what's wrong with entertainment? I'm not talking about that. Everything in a balance. If it's something that is decent, it's not immoral, no problem, in a balance. But if you just continue to live from one spectacle to the next, from one entertainment boxing show to the next, without thinking, like, I'm gonna continue spinning on this earth for a short duration, it's gonna end soon. And don't fool yourself and become complacent and think that, well, I'll just figure it out when I get there. Who lives their life like that? Who plans to go on a trip and doesn't get a visa to that country, thinking like, well, I'll just get over there and I'll figure it out? I mean, only a fool does that. So don't expect to live life and die and just say, well, I'll figure it out. What is on the other side when I get there? It's too late then. You got one shot here. And the intelligent person, there's many smart people, but the intelligent person reflects, thinks, everything around us has a purpose. But what about the human being that's wearing the boxing gloves, that's wearing the boxing shorts? Those shorts have a purpose. The boxing gloves have a purpose. The 8-ounce gloves, they have a purpose. The shoes have a purpose. The towel that the boxers use, everything has a purpose. The ring they're dancing around tonight will have a purpose. But what about those two individuals playing the game? Imagine at the end there was no rounds, there was no time limit, there was no objective to that boxing match, which there is. But there's no objective to life? That doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of smart people, but the intelligent person wants to know why are they here, where are they going when they die, and they ask. And this is what I want you to do. I want to give you some homework. It's really simple. It's not something weird, bizarre, far-fetched way out there. It's to, within yourself, to ask the one who put you here, the ultimate reality, the creator. Ask within yourself. Say, why am I here? What do you want from me? Something as simple as that. Begin with that. And begin on a quest to explore and to want to know genuinely, sincerely, the purpose of life, while asking the owner of life. How about that? So in conclusion, my thoughts, my perspective on the Floyd, Mayweather, and a Conor McGregor fight is, may God Almighty, may the Almighty guide them both to be true, no matter who wins or loses, that they take the Muslim American hero as a role model. The one who was in their shoes at one time, now he's also gone, Muhammad Ali, who millions upon millions of people were affected by the example that he left behind, by the charity, by the humanitarian work. And he wasn't shy to talk about purpose, to invite people to the purpose.
This might make you all think. Life is real short. So you add up all your traveling, add up all your sleeping, add up all your school, add up all your entertainment, you've probably been half your life doing nothing. So what am I'm 35 years old, 30 more years I'll be 65. We don't have no more influence. We can't do nothing much at 65. Your wife will tell you that. So what I'm saying, when you're 65, ain't too much more to do. So did you know I'll be 65 in 30 more years? In those 30 years, I have to sleep 9 years. I don't have 30 years of daylight. I have to travel back to America, take 6-7 miles. All my traveling, probably 4 years of traveling in the next 30 years. About 9 years of sleeping. Television, movies, entertainment, about 3 years of entertainment. Out of 30 years, I might have about 16 years to be productive. So it's how we can all break individual lives down. What am I going to do in the next 16 years? What's the best thing I can do? Get ready to meet God. Going in real estate, going in business, teaching boxers, that won't get me to heaven.
And to look into the way of life that motivated him to live that purpose of life that he was upon. And that's how they can truly leave a legacy behind, a real legacy behind all the glitz and the glamour and the entertainment and the spectacle and the cars and the shows and all these other useless things that we're going to leave behind when we depart and die. We can't take none of it with us. Think about it. And I'm signing out. Thank you very much. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum.